Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to do a radiance analysis on your building so we can figure out exactly how much sun falls onto your building and how much is being reflected or obstructed by your context. So previously you may have seen the Insight tutorial, which is a Revit software or Revit plugin. This time we're going to be using a Rhino plugin called Ladybug. So to install Ladybug, first of all, you're going to have to go over to the website called Food for Rhino and download a tool called Ladybug Tools. Here, when you scroll down, you'll be able to see Grasshopper 7, and you just click on Downloads, and you should be able to have this folder pop up. Once it's finished downloading, open this up, click on the installer. Double click on it, it's going to open up a Rhino file. I'm just going to drag and drop it just so it's a bit quicker. There we go. And from over here, you're going to see these two basic buttons on here. All you have to do is just double click on this one, wait a couple of seconds until it tells you that it's all finished. Then double click on this one, wait a couple of seconds until it's finished. And then you're pretty much done. You should be able to see in your top Ladybug, or if not, restart Rhino completely and it should show up here. Sorry. And unfortunately this is not the end. We still have to install one more thing. So on the script that I have provided for you, which is located here, you will see that you're also going to be missing a radiance plugin. So from over here, all you have to do is just copy that link, go over to this website, which is also part of Ladybug, download the latest ones. You've got assets, drop down, and if you have Windows, just download the windows.exe. And it's a program that allows Ladybug to do their calculations on the sun analysis. So if you have Windows, it's going to say that it's an unrecognized app. Click on more info, run anyway. And you just go through it. It's the radiance setup. I've already done this, so I'm not going to go through it again. But after that, just close up Rhino completely, open it back up, open the file that I have provided, which should look exactly like this. And from over here, all you really have to do is just go through these tick boxes or through these boxes and do exactly as they ask. So one of the first things that you can do is to check if everything works properly. So all you have to do is just go over to the sign box, make sure this says true, and see if this box comes up with the legend on the side. If it doesn't, you would have some kind of an error. Your boxes would turn either red or orange. If that happens, that little box in the top right corner, if you hover over it, it's going to tell you what the error is. If it says that you're missing the radiance or something similar, you haven't installed this correctly. And if it says something else, just hover over it and send me a screenshot. My email's at the bottom here, and I'll be able to help you that way. So this has changed quite a lot since I last used it. So at the moment I didn't have any problems with it, but if you run into any issues, just please do email me, so I'll be able to figure it out myself and then let you know how to fix it. So to start off the analysis, one of the first things that you can do is double click on this file. So to download the EPW file, it's going to open up a whole new browser, and you can go over to almost any location. Some of the locations don't work, like areas around Portsmouth don't work, but the blue one in Crawley on London Gatwick, when you click on it, that one works. So we've got London Gatwick. Then all you have to do is just click copy link to clipboard, go back to our script, double click on this notepad and just paste it in. It's that simple. Then it should all load up the correct location and the correct details about this location. You can scroll down a bit and you can select the context if you have any. So at the moment there is nothing here. These are all just input by me. So if you'd like to change it, you can. So if you want to make your new context, you may do so. So just click on it, right click, select the multiple, or select one if you have got just one. And you see that that's changed now. Now the model to analyze, this will be your model that you're trying to analyze on here. So we can just create a new one, or we can make it a little bit more intricate. Let's make something else. So something like this, let's make it Arctic. Just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, that's fine. Model to analyze, right click, select one geometry. Oh, unfortunately Arctic doesn't show us colors, so let's go back to shaded. We can hide this, so just type in hide, and you can see that it's completed the analysis on this specific model. So those are those two groups. Then we can also set the simulation, or the time range in which the simulation is run. So you can select it from start month, start day, start hour, up to end month, end day, and end hour. Watch out, because when you select over 28, the February sometimes doesn't have more than 28 days, so it will glitch out. So try to stay about 27 or 27 days. And the next thing is the resolution of the simulation. So you can see that each one of them, so you can see that there is squares on the model, and this is basically the resolution of the model. If you'd like this to be more fine, you can increase it. However, be aware that this can crash your computer, so I'd strongly recommend just keeping it on 3 unless you have a really powerful PC. Then you'll be able to go up, or you can go down if you are struggling. Next one is just a starting of the simulation or stopping. So if you want to change a model, if you want to move about, start modeling, disable this, because this is going to be using quite a bit of your resources. From over here, you can change the legend. If you delete this, it's just going to automatically change it. However, this is quite difficult to see the difference between your previous models. So I like to set this myself, the minimum and the maximum. So at the moment, you can see that the maximum is red, and it is in some areas. So if we increase this to something like 1500, you can see that it's not 1500 at any point. It's maxing out at approximately 1200 in some areas. Now you can change colors if you'd like to absolutely any. Make it blue. Probably should be doing this when the simulation is off, just so you don't freeze your computer like I just did. Okay. The next thing is this scale can be scaled or moved up and down. So we can move it left, right, up and down, and vertically. We can also make it bigger or smaller. Now, if you want it to go further, don't worry, this isn't the maximum limit. You can double click on this, and you can set your own maximum and minimum. So if you want it to go much further than 200 millimeters or 200 meters, you can just input 500 or whatever value you want, and it will be able to go way beyond that. Okay, so don't be afraid that this isn't going as far as you want it to go. Same with the scale. Okay, and the last thing is the north point, which is on the top. So currently I have put this arrow which indicates your north point, and I'm just going to turn off my simulation so it doesn't constantly simulate. You can change the size of it, the thickness of it, and you can change where the north point is. So you see that it will start rotating. There we go. So now the north point is pointing that direction. So now if we re-enable the analysis, this should now be south, this should now be north. And you can see that I sort of messed up these colors. But you can play about with the colors and adjust them accordingly as you wish. Lastly, if your model is in millimeters, this basically times, it multiplies the resolution by 1000. So remember when I said keep it at 3 and don't go above 3? Well, if you have it in millimeters, your resolution is basically going to be 3000, so you will definitely not get a result. So if you're struggling to get a result, or if it's taking too slow, if it's being too slow, either make the number bigger, so make it 7, you'll see that they change. There you go, see how much bigger they got. Or make sure that your model is in meters, not millimeters. So you can see that the size of the grid gets smaller and smaller depending on which grid you select, and going below 3, yeah. There we go, there's I think 201. Yeah, that's number 1. 1 froze. And that's basically it. That's how you use Grasshopper in here, and you get very similar results to Insight. So feel free to play about with all of these values, see what they do. These ones extend just the lines so you can see what's context. You can also change the color of them, of the lines. And that's basically it. You obviously are not required to put any context at all. You can just completely disable it, so it's not going to have any, or not import any at all. Just bear in mind that anything you change will require a new simulation. So if you are left on number 1, it's going to calculate it again, even without the context. And once again, so don't leave on 1, leave on something high until you're ready, or don't leave it on. Let's change it to 5. Here we go. Now I can see that there is some glitches, so sometimes maybe change the value from 5 to maybe 4, because that's saying that there's 0, which is definitely untrue. Let's go down to 4, even 3. Yeah, so I'd say just keep it at 3. Seems to be working the best. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, send me a screenshot of, or if you have any questions, send me an email. If you have any issues, send me a screenshot of this area. And if you have any errors, hover over them, see what it says, and send me a screenshot of it, and I'll be able to figure it out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck.